I just took a short walk in the sunshine. My neighbor recently built one of those, I don't know if they have a specific name, but they're like these little boxes with little doors on them, and you leave a book and take a book. It's basically like a neighborhood library. So I walked down to his house and I put 3 books inside, and I took one. And it's really cute. He painted it, and it's really, really cute. I think when I move out, that's gonna be something that I do. I'm gonna, make a little box and put some of my books in it, like my book collection, and, have a sign on top, or, a note on top that says leave a book, take a book. I think that would be really cool to have in my own place. So I went and did that, and I'm actually in my basement right now, and it's not nighttime, it's 3 in the afternoon, but I was like, I have to get to bed tonight because I have work early in the morning, so I didn't know if I'd be able to stay up late enough to make a late night ASMR video. Let me know if there's anything that you would like me to make a video on. I was thinking about trying to do another true crime video. I did one a little over a year ago, and I meant to make it a series, but it never happened. Life has been hitting me hard lately, and I don't mean to say that as a, oh, woe is me, feel bad for me. Like, it's an explanation as to why I haven't been active as much. Even on my first channel, I try to make 2 videos a month for that channel, and it just hasn't happened so far. I think I've made 3 videos in total this year. So, and again, I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad for me. It's just an explanation. In January, I broke up with my boyfriend, and I'm not going to give any details on that because it's private and this is the internet, but I broke up with my boyfriend, so breakups are never easy, and I've been getting over that. And then recently, 2 things in terms of friendship. There was a friend that our relationship became extremely, extremely toxic about a year ago, and I kept trying to talk to her about it, and I kept saying, like, look, we clearly have differences in opinion, but you are my friend and I care about you, so, I want to keep trying this. But we kept butting heads and getting into arguments. So I finally broke off the friendship because I was like, I have directly told you that I am uncomfortable with this, and yet you keep bringing it up. And again, I'm not going to give specific details. It wasn't one thing we fought over, it was a whole bunch of things that drove me crazy. So that happened about a year ago. Fast forward to recently. I had blocked her on my phone and on Instagram, and I hadn't thought of her or, in months. And then she shows up where I work, and I work at a bookstore. And I was just very surprised to see her, and my heart started pounding, and I she looked nervous, like she looked nervous to come up to my register, and I was like, You can see that I'm the only cashier, so why are you even coming up to my register? Like, it's ridiculous. Anyway, it went fine. She didn't say anything mean or anything. But it was just very awkward, and I'm like, why is she doing this? But I didn't ask her. And I didn't ask her how she was or told her that I missed her or anything like that. I just want to move on with my life because she just turned into this really nasty, toxic person. And I was done. She even said, I turned away from the register when, she was done with her transaction, and she's like, I hope you're doing well in your life. And I was like, you too, I guess. And then she walked away, and she stayed in the store, which really annoyed me, because I'm like, you typically purchase your stuff and then you leave. What do you do? But there was that, so I've been dealing with that. And it brings back, I shouldn't say flashbacks, because that doesn't really make sense, but it just brings back all the old memories of, like, the awful emotional stuff that she put me through, and how she never listened to anything I said or any of my opinions. And it was just not pleasant to see her. And then there was another friendship that completely just pulled the rug out from under me. And this happened very recently, like in the last month. And again, I'm not going to share details or names or anything like that. But I had this friend that I really got along well with, and we were getting really close. We texted all the time, we hung out all the time. Like, we would go out for coffee, and I went over to her house once to watch movies, and like, we would have these really in-depth, wonderful conversations on like this, how, there are people in your life that, you tend to have, they pass through your life. Like, that was a friend I had when I was in middle school. That's a friend I had in high school, but we kind of lost touch after I left for college, that kind of thing. But I kept thinking to myself, I was like, this is a friend for life. Like, I really, really liked her. And the last conversation that we had was about what we wanted to do the next time we saw each other. They were like, what would you like to do? And I suggested something, and they're like, yeah, I'm down for that. And we didn't set a date. But we're like, yeah, let's do that next time. And so we texted a lot. Like, just throughout our friendship, it wouldn't be uncommon to hear from her multiple times in a week. She might be like, hey, this is going on, or I just saw this on the news, like, just like random stuff, right? And like, it's a few times a week, and then I suddenly started to not hear anything at all. And so I got a little concerned. So at first I was like, okay, she's just busy. This happens. There are friends that, life just gets in the way, and they get really busy, and I don't hear from them for like a month. So I'm like, okay, maybe she's just busy. And then the more time drew on, I was like, maybe something's wrong. Like, did she get COVID? She has an elderly dog, so I was like, did the dog recently pass away? She had just bought a house, so I was like, did something happen with the house? Like, is something wrong? Because I didn't want to be one of those, like, annoying people that would be texting constantly, like, are you okay? Are you okay? What's going on? Why won't you talk to me? So, like, texts weren't getting delivered. And I was like, that's weird. I wonder if that means that she's blocked me. And then I got actual confirmation that she didn't want to talk to me anymore because I was just on my bed reading an ebook on my phone, and I got an email alert from Patreon, that website where you can pay to get extra online content from content creators, whether it's YouTube or, other websites. You pay to get extra content. She has a podcast, or they have a podcast, I'm sorry. They have a podcast, and so I became a Patreon of hers to get extra content and also just to support her. And I got a notification that her account blocked me, and I just burst into tears. I sobbed my heart out that night, and I went to my mother and I explained the whole thing, and I was like, I don't understand at all. I don't know if I said anything to offend her, or if I don't understand. We never had an argument. The last conversation we had was discussing what we wanted to do the next time we talked to each other. So, I don't understand what went wrong. And I still don't. And it's been 2 weeks since that happened. So, I don't think she's ever going to talk to me again. But quite honestly, I don't want to talk to her again if that's how she's going to treat me. If you're going to block me without explaining, the last friend that I ended the relationship I told you about, I genuinely tried to make it work. I talked to her and I told her, this is uncomfortable for me. I don't agree with you. I confronted her several times, telling her this does not work. And then I finally ended the friendship when she just would not listen, no matter what I did. And with this other friend, there was no explanation. No, I don't think our friendship's gonna work because of X, Y, or Z. No, nothing. No, nothing. It's just gone. I got an actual notification that she blocked me from her Patreon website. So then I can guess that she's blocked me on the phone like I originally suspected. That's hard to say. So I just don't understand. So it feels like one after the other. My boyfriend, this friend that, again, not gonna use names, this friend that I hadn't heard from in almost a year resurfaces, and then this friend that I had no understanding of anything going wrong. She didn't tell me anything that upset her or anything like that. Just blocks me out of nowhere. So, it's like 3 strikes and you're out. I've just been emotionally dealing with a lot. And that's my explanation. I'm not trying to make an excuse. I just wanted to vent and explain to you why I haven't been posting as much, and hopefully you can understand. And I'm gonna try from this point on to make more frequent just not understanding why at all. Like, why? And I'm just sad, and I'm missing my friends, and also at the same time wishing I wasn't as friendly, because I'm like, it clearly makes me get hurt. So I don't know. I've listened to a few toxic friendship stories, ASMR and otherwise, and it's kind of given me some comfort. So that's my